Jacksonville Jaguars.
SEC, ACC, NFL, and your Jacksonville Jaguars. 1010XL, home of the Jaguars.
Now, the window world of Northeast Florida, fifth quarter on 1010XL. Presented by Von Rowan Law and Hurricane Grill and Wings. Here are your hosts, Ryan the Hacker Green, Leon Searcy, and Coach Campo.
He drops the throw. Looking. Max looking. Fires deep downfield, and that was a miscommunication and an interception. Oh, my goodness. You needed a half yard. Mack threw it down the left sideline. There was nobody there. Sauce Gardner backpedaled and just caught the ball that came right to him. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, Frank Franchi on the call, Jaguars Radio, and with that, a very good Sunday evening to you, Jacksonville. It is the window world of Northeast Florida. Fifth quarter, we are presented by Von Rowan Law and Hurricane Grill and Wings, and we are live at Hurricane Grill and Wings in the Bartram Park area. Come on out and join us. Terrific televisions, got the Sunday ticket, full bar, great menu. You know about Hurricane Grill and Wings, and we love the Bartram location. This is a home game for Coach Campo and myself, no question about it. I'm in this Hurricane Grill and Wings quite often, normally under better circumstances when it comes to the Jacksonville Jaguars, as they lose today 32-25 to the New York Jets to fall to 3-11 on the year. Leon Searcy is off tonight, but the coach is with me. And Coach, I mean, look, I hate to be this guy, all right, but I'm going to start off the show by being this guy because it's who I am in my DNA. I'm going to shoot you straight, right? Today was, to me, a pretty good day because the young guys performed beautifully. You saw great things out of Brian Thomas Jr. and Brenton Strange. Tank Bigsby was doing his thing. Parker Washington. Offensively, the young guys you wanted to see, you saw. The game was competitive. The game was fun. You got to see Aaron Rodgers do his thing. And at the end of the day, you lose a game that is considered, quote-unquote, meaningless by standing standards. That helps you in April at the draft. And it also helps you by maybe not giving the owner any false confidence of some 5-game meaningless winning streak that might not foresee change here at the end of the year. So I get people wanted to win the game, and it hurts today. But in the grand scheme of things, I thought today was, all in all, a pretty decent day for the Jaguars.
Well, I think, when you look at it from that standpoint, if you look at it like, what it's going to be for the future, the question is how many of these guys are going to be on this roster and how many of these coaches are going to be here is the key to the whole thing. And from that standpoint, I can see it. Now, as a coach, I think there's positiveness if this roster is going to be fairly intact next year to win down the stretch, to give yourself that little bit of momentum going into next year. So it's kind of a catch-22 in my opinion. I'm of the feeling that Shad Khan, if he's going to make a change with the coaching staff or the management, he's probably already made that decision. I mean, I think at this point right now, I don't know that a 4 or 5 game winning streak is going to make a difference. So I wish they won. And, again, it's fitting, though, the way it ended, because that's the Jaguar way. That the media guys on the TV were saying that's the Jet way, as things were going the opposite direction. But that's the Jaguars way at the end of the football game.
One would think he's already made a decision, but 63 and 146 since the beginning of 2012. He gave Dave Caldwell 3 contracts. You never really know what the owner is thinking when it comes to the hires he makes at the head coach and the general manager position. No question about that. All right, a couple of really positive things on offense. We'll talk about Brian Thomas Jr. We'll talk about Brenton Strange. But I do want to begin with the negative. And the negative is this. I don't know, and this is not hyperbole, I'm being serious. I don't know if there is a healthier team in the NFL on defense than the Jacksonville Jaguars. Those are your guys, man. That's Joshua Hines-Allen. That's Trayvon Walker, Eric Armstead, Devon Hamilton, Foye, Devin Lloyd, Ventrell, Tyson Campbell, Darnell Savage, Cisco. I mean, those are your guys. They are remarkably healthy on defense for this portion of the year. And they were awful today. and they lost the game because that defense was awful. Why was Davante Adams wide open with 2 minutes to go? Probably the same question. Why was Jaden Reed wide open in the Green Bay game that lost you that game? Why was Tyreek Hill wide open for an 80-yarder after the ETN fumble in Miami? Time and time and time again, this defense just folds in the biggest moments, and it happened again today.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're not very good. And part of that not being very good is that there's a lot of mental errors. And, just guys not quite in the position that they need to be. This game was won today by the Jets with big plays. There's no question about it. And that's been the case. Well, you said it with Tyreek Hill and some of these other situations. Even a game that we won, we tried to give away with big plays earlier in the season in the fourth quarter at the end of the game. So
the Colts game, yeah.
Yeah, and so to me, this has not been a very good year. And some of it is because, we don't get a pass rush. And that's something that you got to look back and say, what did they do to help the pass rush in the offseason? Taking a guy like they got rid of Gibson, who is not a great pass rusher, but he was a 6 pass rush, sack a year guy. And they bring in Armstead as a defensive end when he's a defensive tackle. Mm-hmm. Those kind of things kill you. You got a rookie playing nickel. Jarian up and down. Today the reason that Davante Adams was wide open on that crossing route was it was a man coverage, and he thought they were passing things off. Either he or one of the linebackers made a mistake, but I don't think it was a linebacker. I think he was supposed to cover the guy because the safety on the other side covered his guy all the way across. So in my mind, those kind of mistakes, those are the things that kill you. They do a lot of disguising with the safeties. I'm one. And again, I hate to ding coaches because I made my share of mistakes when I was coaching. But
at 3-11, everybody's fair game on this team.
Yeah, absolutely. And really, to be honest with you, if you're going to play too deep, you got to know how to play too deep. And that one to Davante Adams, that 70-yarder, I mean, that was absolutely ridiculous. First of all, Aluakan was the guy going down the middle with the guy. Well, when that happens, you got to make sure your safeties are plenty deep because the linebacker running with a wide receiver is not an ideal situation. So they made a great throw. I will give them that. But number 6, Savage, was not deep enough. He didn't overlap it. Well, we've had overlap problems from the safeties, both of them, Cisco and Savage, all year. So this is a situation that they've got to get fixed, and we're just not very good over there.
No, and the free agents they brought in have not been very good. You mentioned Eric Armstead. Yikes. Darnell Savage was not very good. Gabe Davis is injured. Mitch Morse is kind of what you got. Ronald Darby, I think, played 18 snaps, I think Gibby told me earlier. So it has been a bad free agent haul this offseason. They have not helped you at all. And look, Joshua Hines-Allen, I mean, where were you today, man? I mean, I was doing the Duval rundown with Gus and Tommy McManus before I came to do the fifth quarter here, and they were talking about, 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers. Well, where was number 41 for the Jacksonville Jaguars? I mean, did he play in the game? Because I didn't see him do hardly anything today. Look, Aaron Rodgers, that's not a good offensive line. It's an average offensive line. He's not mobile at all. To not get hardly any pressure on him was very disappointing, but yet par for the course. Again, you want to know where the Jaguars are with a pass rush? Roy Robertson-Harris has not played for the Jacksonville Jaguars since they were in London against Chicago. You go back 2 months since Roy Robertson-Harris was even here. Coming into today, he was third on the team in sacks still with 2.
Right.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And the reason everybody harps on that is everybody knew they had nobody behind Allen and Hines-Allen and Walker even last year. Balky did nothing to address that. Everybody knew they had nothing behind Hines-Allen and Walker coming into this year. And for the second straight year, Balky did nothing. And then here you are. You cannot get to the opposing quarterback, and it kills this team every single week.
Well, I mean, as a secondary coach, my background there, the pass rush is absolutely critical. And so, leave it to chance like they did, I think that was a terrible mistake. And to me, I think we've had a problem with it all year. The thing that I see is not only are we not, getting necessarily a lot of pressure, off the edge, but the interior guys cannot get off blocks.
Right.
They're bull rushers, and then when the quarterback steps up into the pocket and decides to run, they don't get off a block. Well, now all of a sudden you got to start running twists with the outside guys coming underneath, and the problem with that is you got perimeter. You got nobody on the perimeter, so the quarterbacks are getting out, and that's what he did today. He either ran it up the middle, or if they ran an inside stunt, he broke out to the outside. And you don't leave a guy like obviously Rodgers has not had a great year. But you don't leave a guy that's maybe one of the top 5 in history at the position alone on the outside, able to throw the football. So it's been a rough year, and it didn't get any better today.
And everybody's talking about Devontae Adams, and obviously, let's not forget the first touchdown for the Jets. Garrett Wilson was wide open. And again, Savage looks like he's putting his hands on his head. It's like, what's going on? That's a common thought, too, with those safeties.
Right.
Every week, somebody's going to throw their hands up in the air, like, what's going on? Why is that guy wide open? They have a lot of experience doing that because every week somebody is wide open on that defense.
Guess what? I forgot that one.
Yeah.
That's another one.
It was awful.
I could give you the whole rundown on what happened. But, we've said enough on that. This defense is very undisciplined. I'm really disappointed in Nielsen at this point. Whether it's him not being forceful enough with the back end. I was told him coming in, he needed a really strong guy in the secondary. Hey.
I'll still compliment him for a fantastic mustache.
Yeah.
All right, the guy has got a mustache on him.
Yeah.
But after that being said, I don't know really if he's going to be the defensive coordinator after these next 3 games.
The problem is we basically got the same defensive guys when you really look at it that we had a year ago, and that guy got fired.
Yeah.
And that defense was better than this defense. So whatever, obviously this has been a rough year for them.
Let's not bury the lead. Again, the 5th quarter, we're live. Hurricane Grill and Wings in the Bartram Park area. Come on out and join us. Really good late games going on. Buffalo and Detroit. We got the Battle of Pennsylvania with Pittsburgh and the Philadelphia Eagles. We'd love to see you up here at Hurricane Grill and Wings. Talked to Joe, the manager, earlier. They are rocking here, full bar, terrific wait staff. Well, you know about the great food at Hurricanes. Again, it's a home game for the coach and I out here in Bartram Park, Hurricane Grill and Wings. Today is going to be about Brian Thomas. Every week here on the 5th quarter, we do give you an offensive player of the game. That offensive player of the game is brought to you by Universal Roof and Contracting. And, RJ, let's go ahead and do it now. The Universal Roof and Contracting Offensive Player of the Game.
Universal Roof and Contracting presents the Offensive Player of the Game. Universal Roof and Contracting. The difference is universal.
Honorable mention to Brenton Strange, who had a career year or career game, 11 catches for 73 yards. He was fantastic. But today is about Brian Thomas. What do the youngsters say? He is him. Am I hip enough to say that at 41 years of age?
Yeah.
Brian Thomas is him. 10 catches today for $105 and 2 touchdowns. And there were a couple that he left out there that I think he probably will tell you he should have got. He is the best rookie wide receiver in the league, and he was the 4th one taken. If you give me the option of Brian Thomas Jr. or Rome Odunze, I'm taking BTJ.
Absolutely.
You give me the option of Brian Thomas Jr. or Marvin Harrison Jr., I'm taking BTJ. Malik Neighbors is closer, but I would probably at this point, from what I've seen, take BTJ over Malik Neighbors. BTJ is a stud. So in the interest of fairness, and we like to be fair here, we're going to rip Trent Baalke enough over this broadcast and moving forward. In the interest of fairness, he knocked a grand slam out of the park, getting Brian Thomas Jr. not only at the 23rd pick, but in accumulating additional draft picks for Minnesota in the 2025 draft. Remember, they got a 3rd and a 4th in this coming draft and still got Brian Thomas Jr. Coach, he set the all-time Jaguar rookie record for receiving yardage and for touchdowns in a single season today.
Yeah, and he's going to add more to that. I mean, there's no question. And you compared him to Neighbors. Where was he in the first 10 ball games? They didn't work him enough.
Yeah.
They're doing what they have to do with him now.
Get
and that's
number
get him
7
the ball.
the ball. Yes.
Somehow he's going to do something positive. So, again, maybe some earlier in the year, maybe guys were, doubling him a little bit more and all that stuff, and he needed to find a way to get open. But the quick screens with him, the crossing routes with him, those are things that they're going to take advantage of going forward. And if you get enough of those to him, that's when you can spring him on a big one, because people start closing up on him, and obviously he's got the ability. And the one thing with Neighbors, looking back at him, there was one game where he had 18 targets. Well, you got to get the ball to the best guy. That's the name of the game. Get the ball in the hands of the playmakers. So, there's no question that. And when you talk about the young guys and in this thing, and the new guys, you got to give Morse a little bit of credit. The offensive line today played well.
Yeah, they're better.
Opinion.
He's the best free agent they brought in. That's a relative mark because the other guys have been pretty bad.
Absolutely.
But Morse is the best free agent they brought in.
Absolutely.
With the head coach, Dave Campo, the hacker, Ryan Green with you. Jacksonville phone lines are open, 641-1010. If you want to get involved in the fifth quarter, you are more than welcome to do so. Again, New York 32, Jacksonville 25. The Jaguars fall to 3-11 on the year. I'll tell you, and I said this at the top, I don't think the loss – I think the loss is probably a good thing for the long haul. I put that on social media, and some people were like, oh, that's a loser mentality. All right, well, if they end up with Ben Johnson or Liam Cohen or any of these new head coaches a month from now, no one's going to remember a flying flip about the December 15th loss to the New York Jets. My entire concern was you beat Tennessee last week. You play a dog meat Raiders team next week. Then you play the Titans again. You could easily win those two. If you would have won today, all of a sudden you're talking about a 4-game winning streak. And would that have affected Shad Khan's decision-making? Look, it sucks to lose. And I'm not saying you should rejoice in the fact they lost.
Right.
But for the big picture, for the long haul, after you take a deep breath, maybe get a good night's sleep and come back and join me on Hacker After Dark tomorrow, I think you'll realize today was probably a good thing. The young guys performed well, and they lost the game. And in the big picture, that to me is probably better than winning today.
Yeah, and again, with looking at it in that frame of reference, I would have to agree with you. And listen, if I wasn't so involved with doing shows, if I was just a fan, I'd agree with you 100%. Right. So I think
there's a lot of guys.
I think what you're saying is correct from that standpoint, and I'm more along those lines now because I don't know how many guys on this roster are going to be there next year, or the coaching staff. As I said earlier, I don't know. So I don't know how much the winning at the end is going to affect what happens next year. I guess is what I'm saying. But if the roster is going to stay intact, then my feeling is that the more wins you have, you feel better at the end of the year.
And I totally get that. You being decades in the league as a coach, I totally get that. I'll tell you, go on Jets Twitter right now. They're not happy they won.
Yeah, I'm sure they're not.
They're not happy. I mean, you go find a New York Jet fan on social media right now. Now, that's a small minority of fans.
But they know that the guy's not going to be there.
Right.
For sure.
Right. They know they're going to get a head coach, and they're likely to get a new quarterback. And they were dreaming of Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward. The Jets fans, at least the ones that I saw, are not happy that they won today. They're not exactly celebrating this in the Big Apple tonight.
Yes.
No question about that. All right. Phone calls coming up. Kevin, Junior, Jonathan, Craig, all you guys hang in there. You'll be the first 4 up when we open up the phone lines in less than 5 minutes. Again, the Jaguars fall today 32-25 to the New York Jets. It is the fifth quarter here on 1010XL, live at Hurricane Grill and Wings in the Bartram area. Come on out and join us. They got the 4 o'clock games on. They got a terrific bar, terrific wait staff. You know about the great food at Hurricane Grill and Wings. They got all sorts of specials here. It's a home game for the coach and I. Coach is in St. Johns County. I'm just up the road in Mandarin. If you're in either location, come on out and join us. Hurricane Grill and Wings. We'll be with you till 8 o'clock or so tonight in the Bartram area. Phone lines open. We'll do a defensive player of the game. Boy, that'll be a battle.
That's a hard one.
To choose a defensive player of the game. It might come down to a backflip, ladies and gentlemen. But more to do as we roll on with the fifth quarter right here on 1010XL and on 92.5 FM.
Brotherhood of Rock. Now they celebrate 25 years. Sticks. Kevin Cronin, formerly singer of REO Speedwagon. Special guest Don Felder, formerly of the Eagles. June 2nd, Daly's Place. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Sticks. Kevin Cronin, Don Felder, Brotherhood of Rock.
Want to be up close and personal with the Jaguars as they take the field? Here's your chance to be in the shadows, outside the Jaguars locker room, now called The Vault. Enter today at everbank.com/shadows. One winner and a guest for every home game at Everbank Stadium. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents in the United States and D.C. 18 and older. Entry periods for the Shadow Sweepstakes promotion from 8/19/24 to 12/15/24. For official rules and complete details, visit everbank.com/shadows. Sponsored administrator, Everbank N.A. member FDIC.
Imagine a place where the sun is always shining, the drinks are ice cold, and the food is bursting with flavor. Welcome to Hurricane Grill and Wings, where locals and visitors alike gather to weather this storm we call life. And you can escape here anytime you like. Today's forecast, hot, crispy wings with a 100% chance of frothy beers. Later, we're predicting big burgers and seafood tacos moving in. Escape the ordinary. HurricaneWings.com.
Hey, Jaguars fans, as the official whiskey of the NFL, it's not a kickoff without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. And that's why we've built the Crown Royal Rig. An absurdly awesome 18-wheeler delivering the generous spirit to stadiums and tailgates across the country. Follow the Royal Rig on its journey from city to city, bringing together local cuisine, NFL legends, and the opportunity to pack a purple bag for charity and win tickets to Super Bowl 59. Visit crownroyal.com for rules and more, and please drink responsibly.
He's not Pistol Pete, he's Pete Prisco.
Been on the wanted list almost 20 years.
CBS Sports senior NFL writer Pete Prisco joins the Frangie Show Friday afternoons on 1010XL. Brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles.
If you're looking for custom metalwork, look no further than Superior Fence and Rail. Whether it's custom railing, shade structures, or custom entry gates, their expert team controls the turnkey process. From CAD design and raw metal to powder-coated finish and expert installation. When you choose Superior Fence and Rail for your custom metal project, you get a project that's, well, superior. So get off the fence and call Superior Fence and Rail today.
Hey, y'all. Melissa Scobie here. And you know my husband, Josh, could really kick that ball. But when it comes to working around the house, well, not so much. So when I need irrigation, drainage, or seamless gutters, I rely on John Haney's crews at Clearwater. Hit it, guys.
Clearwater Irrigation.
And drainage, too.
ClearwaterJacks.com. Injured in an accident that's not your fault? Don't worry. Zach's got your back. I'm Zach Von Rowan at Von Rowan Law, and over the past 20 years, I have fought to recover millions for my clients throughout Jacksonville. If you've been injured in an accident, have mounting medical bills, can't work, don't worry. Zach's got your back. I will fight for the compensation that you deserve and will be there every step of the way. Go to Zach'sGotYourBack.com to set up your free consultation with me today. Zach'sGotYourBack.com.
Navy Mutual was created by service members for service members, so we know what it means to serve. Our policies have no active duty service restrictions, so you can rest assured that you're covered no matter your duty station, home or abroad. To go even further, we promise that premiums will not be higher for those who serve in dangerous environments, including aviation, diving, or on deployments. Let us help you protect those you love the most. Learn more at NavyMutual.org.
I'm Clayton Bromberg, the president of Underwoods. One of the biggest changes we've seen in fine jewelry over the last 25 years has been the growth of jewelry designers. At Underwoods, we're the leader, bringing to North Florida the best names in designer jewelry. In fact, we carry designer lines in a similar way to how clothing stores carry designer labels. The difference is that jewelry designers have to be a little more timeless in their presentations because nobody wants to buy a fine piece of jewelry only to find out the next year it's gone out of style. That's why you'll find at Underwoods the best of the jewelry designer names, those that are tried and true and popular. Names like David Yerman, Roberto Coin, John Hardy, Marco Biccico, Jude Francis, Lagos, Hippolyta, and a lot more are all available right now at Underwood's. So if you want the best looks in designer jewelry, stop by Underwood's, San Marco, Avondale, or the shops upon Avedra.
XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville, putting an extra 60 minutes on the clock. The window world of Northeast Florida, fifth quarter. Presented by Von Rowan Law and Hurricane Grill and Wings on 1010XL.
Jags 6 out of 10 on third. Mack drops, fires, middle of the field, caught Brian Thomas Jr. inside the 10, inside the 5, toward the goal line. Touchdown! Mac Jones to Brian Thomas Jr. and the Jags have retaken the lead.
Frank Frangie on the call, Jaguars radio. Brian Thomas Jr., 10 catches, 105 yards, 2 touchdowns today in a losing effort as the Jets get it done 32-25. Quickly, Coach, we got some really interesting late games going on. Buffalo and Detroit, maybe a Super Bowl preview. The Bills in Detroit on top of the Lions right now, 28-14, 7.5 to go in the third quarter. Also, Pittsburgh and Philadelphia battling. But quickly, your thoughts on Buffalo and Detroit, the Bills, a 2-touchdown lead midway through the third.
Well, I'm surprised, to be honest with you. I thought that game was going to be really tight. I think it's a 2-point spread for Detroit. And Detroit's, you know, they've had a bunch of games in a row, and sometimes it's tough to keep that going. You know, that's why there are no undefeated teams in the NFL. So, you know, I think they're both really good football teams. It's just going to be, you know, just because they beat them, if Buffalo beats them here and they do play in the Super Bowl, that's no guarantees. Every game's different.
You had 2 football teams playing here today in Jacksonville. I wouldn't go as far as say 2 really good football teams, but it was a pretty good game. It was an entertaining game. The Jets get it done 32-25. Let's go to the phone lines, the Garber Auto Mall phone lines here on the fifth quarter. Live from Hurricane Grill and Wings in Bartram. Let's go to Kevin on the south side to kick us off here on the fifth quarter. Kevin, go ahead.
Hey, good evening, Hacker. Good evening, Coach. Hey, how is it that Aaron Rodgers was the Jets' leading rusher, and we just paid a defensive end all that money? I just can't understand that. He just looked like he was 25 out there running the ball. It was just totally embarrassing. I agree the best thing that could have happened is we lost the game. And then the story was told. I mean, Max looked at decent. You know, he looked at serviceable the whole game. When it came time to win the game, like what Aaron Rodgers is doing, he threw interception. So, I mean, that's the story of the Jaguars this year. Hopefully we can do better next year.
Hey, Kevin, thank you for the phone call. And my point is this. I'm happy it wasn't like a Buffalo game. I didn't want to go out there and lose 47-10, right? I didn't want that to happen. That would have been ridiculous and be a completely different conversation. It was an entertaining game. You saw greatness from Brian Thomas Jr. at times. Brenton Strange, a career game. Your young guys performed beautifully, and yet you lose the game. To me, look, do people want to win? Yes, but I'm very satisfied with the outcome today, Coach, because of the performance of some of the young guys.
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree with you in some ways. I think the one thing that showed today, though, in the last 2 ball games is that Mac Jones, you can see why he was able to, with people around him, do some good things. I mean, I'm kind of impressed with him of at least having a real good grasp of where to go with the football, when to go with it. Now, he's not as talented as, you know, maybe a first-round pick should be. He had some balls sail on him today. He could have made a couple of throws today that he didn't make.
There was one to Brian Thomas Jr. late in the fourth quarter.
The one at the end.
Yeah.
You know, that one you gotta make that throw. But at the same time, I think he's been admirable in what he's been able to do. And I like his attitude and the way he goes about it. I mean, he's serious about playing, and he loves the game, which I like to see.
Selfishly, I would love to see him back here in Jacksonville as Trevor's backup next year, because I think you can do a heck of a lot worse than a backup quarterback than Mac Jones.
No question.
But he keeps playing like this. I think somebody will give him a shot at a starting spot. Will he get a starting spot next year? I don't know. But he is a free agent. I think somebody will give him a shot if this continues. But again, he has had some the overthrows and the interception at the end. Now, I know it's 40 seconds to go or whatnot. It's 3rd and 1, man. Get the first down and live to fight another day. That was kind of a head-scratcher. So we'll see. Actually, let's go back to the phone lines here on the 5th quarter. Former mayor of Jacksonville, Lenny Curry, here with us. We know Lenny loves the 5th quarter, and we love that he listens to us here on 1010XL. Lenny, how are you, my friend?
Hey, good. Hey, how you doing, Hacker? How you doing, Coach? Appreciate you.
Good, buddy. What's on your mind?
I just want to be quick on this one about Mac Jones. So I'm a father of 3 kids at Bishop Kenny, 2 daughters, cheer dance, one who played football there back in the day. And I'm so proud of Mac Jones today, local boy from Bowles. And he played his ass off. And I just wanted to highlight that was a good thing for our city today.
Well, Lenny, appreciate the phone call, and I echo your sentiments. It was a nice story to see. Again, you hated to see the interception at the very end. But what I loved about Mac is he was going down there trying to block guys.
Yeah.
He was talking to the defensive guys. He was getting up and signaling a first down right in their face. You kind of like that moxie with Mac Jones.
Yeah, the reason that I don't have a problem with the interception is that they weren't going to be able to dink and dunk it down the field. They had to make a big play in that drive.
Yeah, you got to take a chance.
You know, they didn't have enough time. And, you know, unfortunately, the way we ended the game defensively, we were forced into a situation where, you know, we just didn't have enough time to go the length of the field. And to me, I thought the overthrow of number 7 was more hurtful than the interception was, because if we didn't throw the ball down the field and have somebody try to make a play or whatever, you know, it wasn't a great throw, but at least he was trying to get the ball down the field into a position where he had a chance.
The one where it sailed on him was a 3rd down.
Yes.
If Brian Thomas catches that ball, it's a first down. You have control of the clock at that point.
He's
you have
out
control
of
of
bounds.
the game.
He's out of bounds.
Yeah.
You know, it was a critical situation. That one was critical. But I think overall in the last 2 weeks, he's done everything that you can do as a backup quarterback to give us a chance to win. We just don't have a good enough football team to win them all.
Let's head up to Buffalo. Let's get our guy Junior in here on the 5th quarter on 1010XL. Junior, what do you got?
Hey, gentlemen, great to talk to you again. I figured this game is like poker, a push. like you were saying, it could go either way, win or lose. So that's why I said it's a push. I would love them to win, but they didn't. The first half of football, the first quarter, we dominated. The defense didn't get any sacks, but they really held the Jets to minimal. And then for some strange reason, it fell apart. I don't know why it fell apart. We saw guys running around and that weren't greeting anybody in the secondary. I can't believe there's like 3 or 4 plays today that the secondary blew it. You know, where they could find of it. One guy is not playing coverage and everyone else is. That was crazy. I like these young guys we have. I love them. TBJ, he's a stud. He's going to be a force to reckon with in the years to come. We just need something to put this team together. I hope that this team gets together. I hope that something in the draft comes together and a spark happens, because we're there. This team is very close. We just got to get rid of some players that just don't want to be here, and it will be great. Talk to you guys next week.
Junior, appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Junior.
Yeah, I mean, Brian Thomas Jr., there is no more conversation. He's wide receiver 1. You can finally put that to bed after years and years and years of the Jaguars don't have wide receiver 1. I got so tired of talking about that. Well, that won't be a conversation, hopefully, for the next decade now, because wide receiver 1 wears number 7 here in Duval County.
Yeah, there's no question. I mean, the guy's he's definitely a number 1. Now, he's got things that he can do better. He's got to learn how to get off the press a little bit better. Those are things that you learn. It's a little different than college football. He has to learn to make plays when he's threatened. Mm-hmm. You know, which in college he didn't have to do that. He was running by guys, or there was more separation. There's going to be separation in the NFL. He's just got to learn that. But as far as his ability to run after catch and all those things, I love it. He's going to be a really good player for us, and all the way through his career, I believe.
Let's go to St. Mary's. Let's get Craig in here on the 5th quarter on 1010XL, live from Hurricane Grill and Wings in Bartram. Craig, go ahead.
Good evening, fellas. Few things. Number one is, what is it going to take for Brian Thomas Jr. to win Rookie of the Year over the next 3 games, if that's even possible with our record? Number 2, with the way that Trent Baalke paid Tyson Campbell, Hines Allen, Walker Little, and Shad Khan going along with it, I think is just lets us know how Baalke has Khan's ear and has convinced him that these players are the ones that we need to lead this team into the future. And lastly, I cannot agree, or I cannot disagree with you more about Mac Jones. I would take C.J. Beathard back at a heartbeat. Give me Gardner Minshew back. Mac Jones is not a serviceable quarterback in the NFL. He was dinking and dunking down the field. Anytime we ask him to throw the ball down the field, it's a disaster. And it's multiple games. We go back to the Houston game. We had a chance to win that with Parker Washington open in the front of the end zone. And Mac Jones saw a little bit of pressure flash to his left, and he's backpedaling and just sails it. I'll take it off the air, guys, but, man, I hope Mac Jones is not back on this team. You know, I support the guy. You know, he's a Jacksonville guy. It's a great story. I'm glad he's back in his hometown playing, but, man, find somewhere else.
Craig, appreciate it. Couldn't disagree more. All opinions are welcome. If you're going to sit there and tell me that C.J. Beathard is better than Mac Jones, we're just watching 2 different games because that to me is not reality, but that's neither here nor there because I don't think Mac Jones should be the starting quarterback. Again, I don't think C.J. Beathard should be the starting quarterback. You have a starting quarterback in Trevor Lawrence, but if I have the option of getting Mac Jones back or going into next year with C.J. Beathard, or I know we all loved Gardner, give me a break. I would take Mac Jones over Gardner Minshew.
Yeah, and I think the one thing about Mac is that he is smart. He's a smart guy, okay? And that's what you need as a backup guy. I don't think Doug Peterson has to really tell him what to do. You know, I think he's got a good competitive spirit, and, you know, he's not great, but he's, you know, probably a mistake as a number 1 draft pick. But that doesn't matter. There's been a lot of guys play for a lot of years as backup quarterbacks, and I think he'll play for a lot of years as a backup quarterback.
Every week here on the 5th Quarter, we do give you a defensive player of the game. It is brought to you by our friends at Superior Fence and Rail. RJ, let's do it right now. The Superior Fence and Rail defensive player of the game.
Jacksonville's building a fence along the goal line. This is the Superior Fence and Rail Defensive Player of the Game. Superior Fence and Rail, where quality matters.
Some weeks are tougher than others to find the defensive player of the game, but, Coach, you and I have done it, and it really boils down to this. We're going to give it to the guy that did a backflip at almost 300 pounds, Jeremiah Ledbetter. I know you have thoughts on that as a coach, but he did get to Aaron Rodgers for the sack. And then you'll see that all over Sports Center tonight. The backflip was pretty impressive. It was a bad day overall for the defense. Kind of hard to choose one particular guy. But when a 300-pounder can do a backflip like that, that gives you the defensive player of the game. So, RJ, have fun voicing that one later.
Yeah, that one is, the best of all evils, I guess, is how you say it.
It's the best of a bad situation, a bad day at the office for the defense.
Yeah, it was a rough day, and really, honestly, he had a big sack. That's it. You know, that's the bottom line.
Save that soundbite, RJ. No question about it. 641-1010 is the phone number. Back to the phone lines. Let's get one more on this side. Again, if you're on the line, we will get to you. Let's go to Alabama. Let's get Jonathan in here on 1010XL. Jonathan, go ahead.
Well, the defense was average today. They still are giving up those too many big plays, and that cost us. And I think it was on 4th down, Mac threw that interception. We should have just ran the ball. But I thought Cam Little was good today again.
Jonathan, appreciate the phone call. There were a lot of positives. We haven't even talked about Cam Little. I mean, Cam Little is our 6th-round rookie. What is he, 20 of 22 on field goals this year?
Yep.
I got no issue with Cam Little. Logan Cook was doing his thing again. I thought special teams. The kickoff coverage, anyway, was good. The fake punt That was a big play in the game,
Yes,
right?
it
And
was.
give the
It
Jets
cost
credit
us
for
a
that.
game.
Yeah, give the Jets credit for calling it. That's a gutsy call in their own territory. And Chad Muma was almost there, man. It's a game of inches, almost there. Couldn't get him down, and the Jets are in the end zone 3 plays later. So we'll see what happens. But again, the Jaguars lose today 32-25 to the New York Jets. The Jaguars are now 3-11 on the year, but all is not lost, as apparently now they are back up to 4th in the NFL draft, depending on the outcome of the Raider game tomorrow night and what's going to transpire later on tonight. So, oh, wow, Buffalo has just punched it in. Boy, they're taking Detroit to the woodshed, it looks like, right? The 34-14 right now. Extra point pending. How about this? The Bills putting it on Detroit in the Motor City right now. Also late in the third, Philadelphia 20-13 on Pittsburgh, and the Eagles are driving deep in Pittsburgh territory. We will keep you updated. Phone lines are open. 641-1010 is the phone number. If you want to get involved, there is more than time for you right now. We will get to you. It is the Window World of Northeast Florida. 5th quarter, we are presented by Von Rowan Law and Hurricane Grill and Wings. And again, we are live. Hurricane Grill and Wings in the Bartram Park area. Come on out. Full bar. Terrific menu, whether you're looking for chicken, burgers, wraps. You know Hurricane's menu is absolutely sensational. Terrific wait staff out here at the Bartram area. I'm out here a lot. I know the coach is out here a lot. This is a home game for us. Hurricane Grill and Wings in Bartram, and we certainly thank them for hosting us tonight here on the 5th quarter. More phone calls to go as we recap the Jaguars' 32-25 loss to the Jets here on 1010XL and on 92.5 FM.
The great thing about live sports, you never know what's going to happen.
Oh, how did he pull that off?
Get the most live play-by-play on 1010XL.
Hey everybody, Jennifer Marion with Randy Marion Cadillac in Jacksonville here to say hello, and we'd sure like to have your business.
You know what? They're going to love the king of price.
My dad believes in making great deals and having a great selection in stock.
Cadillac XT4s, XT5s, and XT6s, and Escalades.
The all-electric Cadillac Lyriq.
CT4s and CT5s.
Cadillac luxury and selection is just waiting for you.
At Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
And don't forget, tell them Jennifer sent ya.
When pests invade your space, you don't just need them out, you need them out fast. And you need to keep them out. At Terminix, we show up for you and eliminate pests quicker because we care about what matters most to you. When pests show up, so do we. Don't live with a pest problem. Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online. That's TERMINIX.com. TERMINIX.com. Terminix it.
Welcome to Rockville. North America's largest rock festival returns to the Daytona International Speedway in 2025 with Green Day, Korn, Shinedown, and Linkin Park. Plus Bad Omens, Incubus, Good Charlotte, Rob Zombie, Alice in Chains, Pierce the Veil, Marilyn Manson, 3 Days Grace, Sublime, Hailstorm, I Prevail, Three Doors Down, Jimmy Eat World, Motionless in White, Bush, Chevelle, Mudvayne, and so many more. Welcome to Rockville takes over the Daytona International Speedway May 15th to the 18th, 2025. 5 stages, 4 days, and over 150 bands. 4-day, single-day camping and VIP passes on sale now at welcometoRockville.com.
Does the building you go to work in every day need a little love and attention? Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Great companies take great care of the buildings their staff and customers walk into every day. If the building you're in doesn't match the vision you have for your company, we can help. Go to performance-painting.com. Our highly trained team makes the difference. Quality coatings applied with pride.
Performance Painting.
What's the weekend in sports look like? I'm Dan Hicken, and I'll give you my take on the Weekend with Dan. Find it on YouTube and Facebook. Weekend with Dan, brought to you by Stone Core. We do outdoors better.
It's the end of the year sale with Universal Roof and Contracting. Get 15% off all roof repairs and replacements, plus a $250 gift card for holiday shopping. With financing options as low as $150 a month, Protecting your home's never been easier. Schedule your free roof inspection today. Call 855-ROOF-HELP, and this offer expires December 31st. License number CCC 057165, CBC
125-844. UniversalRoof.com. Truck drivers. Without them, our economy would stop. They're constantly racing against time, struggling against exhaustion, and being put under enormous pressure from their bosses, the big trucking companies. This can be a major reason for an accident. Discovering who's at fault can be difficult. We can help. Put our big truck experience to work for you. Call Farah and Farah. Jacksonville.
Everything about the game has changed, except for the most important thing. What you have inside. It is what drives the game. It refuses to be ignored. It sweats everything, turns an athlete into a legend. Gatorade, is it in you?
From Gatorade Zero to Gatorade Endurance Formula and Gator Light, there's something for every athlete. Find it at your local Winn-Dixie. It's a win-win. Gatorade, official partner of the NFL.
Is your AC ready for the holidays? Bold City Heating and Air ensures your AC stays in tip-top shape. We know that a clean AC is a healthy AC. Upgrade yours for just $96 a month and enjoy free duct cleanings with your new system. Plus, ask about our 0% financing options.
Bold City AC. We got the crew. Bold City AC.
Visit boldcityac.com.
Hey, Jacksonville Koozies, it's me, Soccer Sam, for Salvatore's Pizza. Rochester, New York's favorite pizza is now open in Jacksonville, Florida, Tapestry Park at the Loft Hotel Plaza. Daily $10 deals, dine in with beer and wine, and delivery at salvatores.com. The famous Formoso family brings Salvatore's Pizza, Rochester's favorite pizza, including our 32-piece sheet pizza for your next event. Go with me, baby. Salvatores.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Bringing you an extra quarter of football.
The window world of Northeast Florida, fifth quarter. Presented by Von Rowan Law and Hurricane Grill and Wings on 1010XL.
They do throw it. Jeff called it, and that ball is going to be caught for the touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown pass. Jeff Loggeman called that. They throw a fade to the right side to Devontae Adams, who does get the touchdown. He beats Monteric Brown for the score.
Frank Frangie on the call, Jaguars radio. Yeah, you knew that was coming. Once they took Devontae Adams' touchdown away from him, they went right back to him. And Devontae Adams had an incredible game today to help the New York Jets to a 32-25 win over the Jacksonville Jaguars. Back to your phone calls in one moment. Every week here on the fifth quarter, we do give you a special teams player of the game. That special teams player of the game is brought to you by Crown Royal. RJ, let's do it now. The Crown Royal special teams player of the game.
Now, it's time to showcase the Crown Royal Special Teams Player of the Game. Live generously and life will treat you royally.
Boy, the rookie never ceases to amaze. 6th round out of Arkansas. What a find Cam Little has been. In a losing effort today, Cam Little, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 field goals, along of 43. Also hit his extra point. 13 points total for Cam Little. He was absolutely terrific today. And Cam Little, coach, is the special teams player of the game.
Yeah, I mentioned it when I was sitting watching the game, that this kid's really good. And his kickoffs, I mean, are he's got a great leg, especially for a little guy, and very accurate. Nothing seems to bother him too much. So I'm glad we got him.
On a 3rd and 17 with Buffalo up 35-14, Jared Goff to Amon-Ra St. Brown. That was like a 70-yard touchdown. So Detroit's now cut at 35-21 pending the extra point, or 35-20 pending the extra point late in the third quarter. We'll keep you updated, but a good one going on in the Motor City. Back to the phone lines we go. The Garber Auto Mall phone line, 641-1010 here on the fifth quarter, live from Hurricane Grill and Wings in the Bartram area. Let's go to the west side. Let's get Darren in here on 1010XL. Darren, what's going on?
Hey, Hacker. By the way, just quick update for you. Was down 11 pounds my first week on the Waco 180. Just wanted to give you a shout-out on that.
Beautiful. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Fixing to have me a salad and a filet mignon to start my new week. Hey, I think you're missing an opportunity there for advertising for the fifth quarter. You need to get a Waco 180 for the biggest loser of the week. And I'm going to nominate our two defensive ends because they were non-existent today. I'm sorry. I think they're both really, really talented guys. I think they're very, very good guys. I think in heart, they're good-hearted guys. But, today they looked like they were going through the motions. I didn't see a dog in them today, and I was very disappointed in them. Today, they are the biggest loser for me. Y'all have a great week.
Darren, appreciate it. Yeah, I didn't see much from 41 or 44. At least 44 made some tackles on some running plays. I saw him at least on some piles. Coach, I did not see a lot of 41 doing very much of anything today, which is pretty disappointing. Going up against a rookie, mind you, the left tackle.
I just don't see a lot of different moves and, inside, outside. The defensive end for Detroit. I'm just watching the Detroit game for the game today.
For the Jaguars?
No, for
the Jets.
Jets, yeah.
Hassan Reddick? Yeah.
No, the other guy, the one that's got 10 sacks.
Oh, Will McDonald.
Yeah. He was working 77 over a little bit today, early.
Well, yeah, he drove 2 holding penalties.
Yeah, and then he got tired. They were out so much in the first half, but he's going inside, outside. We're running right into guys. I just don't get it.
Yeah, that's a good point. Will McDonald was clearly the best defensive end on the field today. Not even close.
Yeah.
Completely better than what Trayvon Walker and Joshua Hines-Allen brought to the table. Let's go to Savannah. Let's get Kevin in here on the fifth quarter on 1010XL. Kevin, what do you got?
Oh, I just wanted to congratulate the coach for complimenting Mac Jones. I listen to a lot of 1010 radio, and it seems like if you try to compliment Mac Jones, you get a lot of blowback. You're a Mac Jones fan club or things like this. I think the offense in the last 2 games has looked as efficient as they have all year. I mean, you can look at the number of first downs. Of course, we'd like to punch it into the end zone more, but I don't get it. It's okay I want Trevor Lawrence to be the best quarterback ever in the NFL. However, to not compliment Mac Jones for what he's done and how he's made this offense look is a travesty, in my opinion. Thank you, guys.
Kevin, appreciate the phone call. A lot of checkdowns, but he managed the offense well. And look, I mean, other than 2 really big mistakes, I mean, the one interception I didn't care about because that was basically a punt.
Right.
It was on 3rd down. He threw it 50 yards down the field, whatever.
That was a bad throw because the receiver was open on that one.
Yeah.
He just led him too far inside. There was a free safety there. He should have the second one is the one you take a shot, throw it, especially on 3rd and 1. What the difference it make? If it's incomplete, you get the first down and you still try to do something.
Right, and people are saying run the ball on 3rd and 1. You got to remember there was 40 seconds to go.
Absolutely.
You didn't have time to run it.
Yeah, you got to get a big play in that one. So I'm glad Kevin agrees with us. I think that the kid has done a good job the last 2 weeks, won a win. Even though we didn't score a lot of points, this one we did score some points. So that's good.
I thought the running game was pretty good today.
That's the difference.
I got to look at the final numbers, but I thought Bigsby and Etienne both were pretty decent today.
Right. I felt that Etienne had to get more involved in the pass game, and they had to run the football in order to have a chance. And I said before the game that Brenton Strange had to have a good game with number 17 out. I think those things happened, and we scored points.
I mean, Etienne, 14 carries, 65 yards. Tank Bigsby, 11 for 42, and Mack added 4 for 29. I mean, they ran for $136.
Yeah, and look at Etienne in the pass game.
Yeah, Travis Etienne had 4 catches for 20 yards. So back-to-back weeks of 4 catches.
Yeah, so I think they're doing what they're supposed to do, but they just can't win when the game's on the line. That's the biggest thing to me.
Let's go down to Melbourne. Let's get Steve in here on 1010XL on the fifth quarter, live from Hurricane Grill and Wings in Bartram. Steve, go ahead.
Hey, guys. Coach, I just need you to kind of give me a heads up. What's going on with this secondary? So many busted coverages. I do not know why at one point Devin Lloyd was trying to cover Devontae Adams. That kind of blew my mind. The ends, I mean, the tackles had an easy game against 41 and 44. They would just go rush to the outside, and they would just follow him to the momentum, carry them past Aaron Rodgers because we got no interior pressure. Mind you, Mason Smith had his moments during the game. I saw a few good things, but, I mean, and that one pass, that first interception, my only thing with that is I couldn't tell because Brian Thomas and Duvernay were going down the field, and I think Brian Thomas might have cut in at the last minute. So it might have been an overthrow or leading them too far inside. But, I mean, my main concern is with this defense. I mean, it just has not worked all year, and I don't know how they can continue doing it. I admit Tyson had a bad day at the office. Jarian Jones had a bad day. Monteric had a bad day. But some of these broken coverages is just beyond me, Coach.
Well, that's the frustrating thing. And real quick, Coach, like we talked about earlier, your offense is the ones that are banged up. Your starting quarterback, 2 of your 3 starting receivers, your starting tight end. Your offense should be the one struggling because they're without all their guys. That is the Jaguar defense. I mean, with the exception of guys you traded, like Roy Robertson-Harris, a couple of guys that were inactive, they are the healthiest defense I'm willing to bet in the National Football League. And they were bad today, and it's very, very frustrating.
Well, in answer to the gentleman's question, Tampa Bay back in the day with Monty Kiffin brought 2 middle into the league. And that was really almost half kind of like a 3 deep because the middle linebacker didn't take any play fakes, nothing. He was responsible to drive down the middle of the field, and the number one thing he had to do was not get beat vertical, okay? They're using this cover 2 as a safety valve. So they're not playing it very well. That's the problem. Devin Lloyd has plenty enough speed because he's starting 10 yards downfield to be in position to force a ball deep enough to where the safeties can come over the top of it. Well, he was started like it was a 3rd down and 10, and he's kind of slowing down at the 10-yard mark thinking that they're going to throw to the sticks. He can't. He's got to go vertical. He's responsible to go down the middle, so he was behind. And that's what it looks like. He's covering the guy, but he's not covering him man-to-man. He's a zone player that has to get down the middle. And the safety was not deep enough to overlap it. And that's the problem. They don't play the coverage very well.
Now, I know you look at it a lot different because obviously your experience as a coach in the league. But for people that are just watching the game that don't really know the intricacies of the X's and O's, broad statement, and maybe you can't answer this, I'll ask you anyway. Are all these lapses in coverage bad play or bad coaching?
I'm gonna say that when you get a lot of mental errors, it's discipline. And discipline is based on the coach is responsible for discipline. Discipline is when your guy does the right thing all the time, every time. That's discipline, okay? And if you've got guys busting coverages, that's a reflection on the coaching staff. Now, at the same time, if the coach is doing a good job and the guy just has a lapse, that's one thing. But we have way, way too many of those situations.
Right.
To where, guys are not sure. And it was the same thing last year. This is no different. It's no different. The difference was a year ago, they were at least in coverages that were softer. This year, we're playing more man to coverage, and guys are not passing off, or they think they're passing off, and they're not passing off. There's just too many of those things for me to just say it's the players. Now, some of it is if a guy doesn't get himself into position to where he's supposed to be, that's his responsibility as well. But discipline is the responsibility of the coaching staff, in my opinion.
Let's squeeze one more in on this side. Again, if you're on the line, we will get to you. We're with you for another hour up until 8 o'clock. Let's go to the south side. Let's get Matt in here on the fifth quarter on 1010XL. Matt, what's going on?
Hey, guys, enjoy listening. Hey, you can put me on Team Campo, okay? Because there ain't a part of this fan that's okay with losing at any game and any point in the season, okay? That's the difference between having a bad season and being a bad joke around the entire NFL. And this team has been really good at getting high draft picks. We've tried that. It's got us right here again year after year after year, having the same busted post-game talk way too early in the season. Appreciate you guys, though, and hope you have a Merry Christmas.
Matt, appreciate it. And again, I don't disagree with you. I did not want them to win 5 games in a row, and I did not want Shad Khan to have any inkling to keep things the way they were. And I will stand by that. Today's loss, to me, is a good thing. And people say, well, he's already made up his mind. Oh, really? You think he's already made up his mind? Maybe he has. I don't know why people assume that. I mean, he gave Dave Caldwell 3 contracts, right? He kept Gus Bradley here for 4 years. What track record do you have that says Shad Khan's already made up his mind regardless of what happens? If you beat Tennessee last week, which they did, you get a big emotional win against the Jets. You go out to Vegas, you win a game, you beat an awful Titans team again, and maybe pull off an upset against Indy. Are we confident that they were going to fire people after winning 5 games in a row to end the year? I don't know. Well, from that standpoint, the more games they lose now, to me, the better off you're going to be in the long term.
Yeah, that's possible. But all I know is that when you look in the stands, is the telltale to the owners making decisions a lot of times.
And the owner was in the house today.
Yep.
He was there.
So if he was looking in the stands and seeing that there weren't a lot of people in there, or somebody's wearing a bags over their head, or somebody's got clown outfits on, then it's a bad day.
With the head coach, Dave Campo, the hacker, Ryan Green with you. This is the Window World of Northeast Florida, fifth quarter. We are presented by Von Rowan Law and Hurricane Grill and Wings. And speaking of Hurricane Grill and Wings, we are live out here at the Bartram location. If you're in St. Johns County, if you're in my neck of the woods, Mandarin, you know about Hurricane Grill and Wings in Bartram. Terrific menu, full bar, great wait staff. Joe, the manager, they take great care of you. Come on out and join us. We certainly thank Hurricane Grill and Wings in Bartram for having us out here on the fifth quarter tonight on 1010XL. We're with you till 8 o'clock. Phone lines are open, 641-1010. We will give you a play of the game, and we'll talk about some of the young performances today. A career day from Brenton Strange, Parker Washington. What does that mean for potentially the futures of Christian Kirk and Evan Ingram moving forward? More to do as the fifth quarter rolls on. 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Home of the Jaguars, 1010XL, WJXL AM and FM, Jacksonville Beach. When Jag News breaks, hear it first on 1010XL.
Brotherhood of Rock. Now they celebrate 25 years. Sticks. Kevin Cronin, formerly singer of REO Speedwagon. Special guest Don Felder, formerly of the Eagles. June 2nd, Daly's Place. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Sticks. Kevin Cronin, Don Felder, Brotherhood of Rock.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Dempsey. Here in North Florida, you know that when temperatures go up and your AC goes out, you need help now. Like right now. Like lickety-split. So why not call Lickety Split and get same-day emergency service for your AC? Now, I bet you've seen their trucks all over town because they've got dozens of certified technicians ready to repair not only your AC, but your home's plumbing and electrical too. So when you want it done right and you need it done right now, call Lickety Split AC Plumbing and Electric.
Soccer continues to grow on the First Coast, and so does the need for better coverage. Join Cole Pepper, Mauricio Ruiz, and Becky Burley
on the Sporting Jack Soccer Hour, Tuesday nights at 6
on 1010 a.m.
Everybody, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods. Dandy subs and sandwiches. Look, we always want you to think about those great options as you're driving around Duval. But the beauty is, even as I'm dropping pounds, Dandy's got great options for me as well. Told you all about their protein packs, delicious salads that they have out there. They have fruit cups for on the go. You know what they have. Veggie snack trays. You can grab those on the go as well. Perfect, healthy snack. Dandy is the name to know when you're on the go. So stop into a Gate store anywhere around Duval and make yours a Dandy, and do it today.
Welcome to Rockville. North America's largest rock festival returns to the Daytona International Speedway in 2025 with Green Day, Korn, Shinedown, and Linkin Park. Plus Bad Omens, Incubus, Good Charlotte, Rob Zombie, Alice in Chains, Pierce the Veil, Marilyn Manson, 3 Days Grace, Sublime, Hailstorm, I Prevail, Three Doors Down, Jimmy Eat World, Motionless in White, Bush, Chevelle, Mudvayne, and so many more. Welcome to Rockville takes over the Daytona International Speedway May 15th to the 18th, 2025. 5 stages, 4 days, and over 150 bands. 4-day, single-day camping and VIP passes on sale now at welcometorockville.com.
For 79 years, each Gator Bowl game wrote a chapter in a story filled with excitement, celebrity, and a touch of drama. The game has seen iconic coaches like Bear Bryant, Vince Dooley, and of course, Bobby Bowden. Football stars like Larry Zonka, Archie and Peyton Manning, and Michael Vick. The 80th chapter features Duke and number 14 Ole Miss. Thursday, January 2nd in primetime on Bill Gay grounds at Everbank Stadium. Tickets on sale now at TaxSlayerGatorBowl.com.
I'm Clayton Bromberg, the president of Underwoods. Every year we have gentlemen come in with the same problem. They just don't know what to buy their wife for Christmas. Well, one thing we can start off telling them is they've come to the right place, because at Underwoods it's been our business since 1928 to keep in our stores what ladies want to own. We have a professional credentialed staff that'll treat you the way you expect to be treated, and they can really help solve your problem. We have North Florida's finest collection of diamond jewelry, an extensive collection of pearls. You might be interested in seeing some of the hot new designer jewelry pieces from names like David Yurman, John Hardy, or Roberto Coin. If it's a watch you want, we carry Rolex and other watches that are considered the best. And the one thing you'll love and she'll recognize is the hand-wrapped silver package with a satin ribbon our gifts come in. So make this a Christmas to remember at Underwoods in San Marco, Avondale, or the shops of Ponte Vedra.
Is your AC ready for the holidays? Bold City Heating and Air ensures your AC stays in tip-top shape. We know that a clean AC is a healthy AC. Upgrade yours for just $96 a month and enjoy free duct cleanings with your new system. Plus, ask about our 0% financing options.
Bold City AC. We got the crew. Bold City AC.
Visit boldcityac.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is the window world of Northeast Florida 5th quarter. Presented by Von Rowan Law and Hurricane Grill and Wings on 1010XL.
Jags 6 out of 10 on third. Mack drops, fires, middle of the field, caught Brian Thomas Jr. inside the 10, inside the 5, toward the goal line. Touchdown, Mac Jones to Brian Thomas Jr., and the Jags have retaken the lead.
Frank Franchi on the call, Jaguars radio. That was the second Brian Thomas Jr. touchdown of the day. He ends up with 10 catches for 105 yards and those 2 touchdowns, albeit in a losing effort, 32-25, the Jets over the Jacksonville Jaguars. Every week here on the 5th quarter, we do give you a play of the game. That play of the game is brought to you by our friends at Performance Painting. RJ, let's do it now. The Performance Painting play of the game.
Now the Performance Painting high performance play of the game. Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
No doubt, Coach. Brian Thomas Jr. How about this was his 8th game of 75 receiving yards or more? I think he's 35 yards now shy of 1,000 for the season. He'll break that next week against Las Vegas. You start thinking about like Jamar Chase. I think he had like 1,300 yards his rookie year. Guys of that sort, that's kind of what Brian Thomas Jr. potentially could do if he closes the season strong. And, boy, the accolades for that young man and the hype surrounding him coming into 2025 will be pretty big.
Yeah, I think really if we had a quarterback that can throw the deep ball right now, he would hit that without any problem at all. But I think that they've made the conscious decision now, which, again, I will say again, we've been saying this for about 8-9 weeks. Why are they not getting the ball to number 7 enough? Well, they're getting the ball to him now. And to me, that gives them a chance to be up in there, with the real good ones.
I'd have to look at contracts, the way they're structured. This is more a Parker Washington question to Christian Kirk, but I'll lump Britton Strange in. He had 11 catches today to Evan Ingram. Cheaper, younger options. I mean, what's your thought? The performance of Parker Washington and Britton Strange, not only today but down the stretch here, what, if anything, will that mean for the futures of Christian Kirk and Evan Ingram here in Jacksonville?
Well, I think they have a couple guys that have those traits. I think you look at Strange. I've liked him right along. Because he really is like Ingram in a lot of ways. He's a intermediate catcher. He can block probably better than Ingram. I think you could probably flank Ingram out, and he'd be pretty decent. But I don't think Strange is that kind of guy. But I think a combination tight end, I think he's got a chance to be really good. Again, I don't know what the contract situation is with Ingram, so I don't know where that sits. But I really like Strange. I've liked him a lot from the beginning. I just think he didn't get enough opportunities. Parker Washington, I think he's shown some things. I don't think Parker Washington is Kirk right now. But Kirk has been injured 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
So that enters into it, too. You're paying a guy a lot of money to get injured. So, I think Washington shows some things. He's got the ability to run after catch, and he seems like he's got a pretty good awareness of how to run the routes and those kind of things, especially as a slot receiver. So, again, I think that both of those guys that we're talking about are going to be there next year. But I think you got a couple of guys that have a chance to take that position in the future.
641-1010 is the phone number. If you want to get involved, you are more than welcome to do so here on the fifth quarter live at Hurricane Grill and Wings in Bartram. Let's head out to Callahan. Let's get John in here on the fifth quarter on 1010XL. John, go ahead.
Hey, Hacker, I just want to say I'm very proud of your weight loss. I've been hearing about this, and I'm very proud that you took control of your own life. Now, Coach, I've got one thing I want to ask about. I saw in this game a lot of guys start to go after a receiver, and then they back off and go toward the line. Was that in man or zone, or am I confused on that?
Okay, say that again one time for me. They go to the receiver, and then what?
No, they were going out with the receiver. Then they stopped, turned around, and went back to the line of scrimmage. I don't know whether they thought it was a run or what.
Well,
John, appreciate the phone call.
Yeah.
Thank you for the kind words, my friend.
Yes. The only thing I can say there, I don't know exactly what John is talking about. I know that when you're playing zone defense, sometimes you're carrying guys for a while, and then you're responsible for something up in front of you. Those cover twos that we talk about, they're different than back in the day. We used to reroute receivers. I don't care if it had to be within 5 yards or not. We were going to reroute the receivers in cover two and then sink hard into what we called the dead area, back about 17 yards, so that if they ran a corner route, you were underneath it and it forced it up in the air to where a safety could make a play. Well, they don't touch the receivers. They just kind of sink back, and it looks like they're going back with a guy, but they're really responsible for anybody out in the flat. So that might be what he's talking about, and they might see something open up, going to the outside and stop them. The only thing I can see that would, mirror that.
If it were you, and again, there's so many issues, but if it were you, how would you fix this defense this offseason?
Well, first of all, you got to get a pass rush. I don't care what you do. Anything else you do, you have to rush the passer, and you cannot allow a bunch of, situations where the quarterback can hold the ball, because the quarterbacks in this league are way too good. And to me, I thought they tried to fix that. I thought that with the two outside end guys, and I thought they were going to get a third pass rusher outside, but I thought the Armstead was going to give us an inside pass rush. Well, he's not even playing inside. He's the third outside guy.
Yeah.
Which I just can't get it in my mind how they let that happen. They got rid of Gibson, as I said earlier, who would have been like an Arden Key, because I thought Arden Key was that kind of a guy, a third pass rusher that could put pressure on the quarterback. He loves the game. He invented Duval.
Yeah.
I mean,
Jacksonville's a better place because of him. But amazingly, they haven't replaced him in 2 years.
No, they have not. And to me, that's the first thing I would do. The second thing I would do is if I was doing it, we'd have a very disciplined football team. I can promise you that. We might not be the best, but we would certainly not make a lot of mental errors. If somebody beat us, it would be beating us one-on-one, where they're better than we are.
Let's head back to the phone lines. Let's go to Marietta. Let's get Wade in here on 1010XL. Wade, what's going on?
All right, long time, Hacker. Those old days, right? Back in the day.
Wade, wow, man. Good to hear from you.
Dempsey. Yeah, good to hear from you. I'm just like this. We're snake bit, just like the Falcons. We're not going to win tomorrow. I think the Raiders are going to beat us. And the reason why, the Bucs are putting a number on the Chargers. I'm telling you, both our franchises are the most snake bit franchise in the whole league, I think. That's my opinion on that. And I thought Ryan Nielsen's going to help you guys, but he didn't do nothing this year. He's a bust.
Wade, there's no doubt about that. Thank you for the phone call. Boy, Wade, that's old school sports radio. We go way back with Wade, back to the 9:30 days. Good to hear from you, Wade. Yeah, Ryan Nielsen's been bad. I mean, I hate to just say but he's been bad. It's been borderline failure, certainly disappointment. But again, maybe we're so over talking about Press Taylor. I actually thought the offense was pretty good today. They actually did some things on offense that I thought, wow, that's kind of creative, right? There was one play where they faked one way and then threw it back to Brian Thomas and had a bunch of blockers out there.
Yeah,
that was something different.
Right.
So I have very little issue with Press Taylor and Doug Peterson today. It's all about the defense and how bad they were.
Yeah, and I think it's been, that's been a problem for a while now. I mean, I don't know. I'm not in the locker room. I don't know what those guys do.
Well, just speaking, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but the vibe I get, and you being a buddy of mine, talking to you all the time, it's frustrating for you.
Right.
Decades in the league, head coach, D coordinator, defensive backs coach. I mean, this is your life.
Right.
When you see nonsense going on out there every single week.
Correct. Yeah. When I see things that are a guy's disguising himself out of being positioned to make a play, and it hurts us.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a problem when you play in man coverage and one guy plays pass off and the other guy doesn't.
Right.
Those things are the things that frustrate you. And when I guarantee you, the one thing we did back in the day with Jacksonville and Dallas, we had people lined up. I didn't give a darn if the quarterback knew what coverage we were in. We were going to have guys in position to make the plays that they're supposed to make. And that, to me, bothers me when you're in that situation. Now, the other thing, going back to the cover two stuff, you can't play that unless you have a good pass rush.
Mm-hmm.
You can't give the quarterback time. There's holes all over that thing. And that's the problem that they're having right now. So, you can't just, thinking that they're going to do one thing and then and have it not work and then do it again and expect it to work. Doesn't happen. You have got to have guys that are disciplined and doing what you ask them to do.
We'll come back with a drive of the game. Again, if you're on the phone lines, we will get to you. One more segment of calls. 641-1010 is the phone number. There is room for you. Now 641-1010 on the Garber Auto Mall phone line with Dave Campo, the hacker Ryan Green with you as we roll on the window world of Northeast Florida fifth quarter, presented by Von Rowan Law and Hurricane Grill and Wings, live at Hurricane Grill and Wings in the Bartram area. More to do here on 1010XL and on 92.5 FM.
First of all, congratulations on the show.
Join the 1010XL Podcast Network.
How do you like being in a real studio?
Now you can find all your favorite 1010XL podcasts in your platform of choice.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Today's contestant, a professional stamp licker from Jacksonville, Florida, meet Martin Celery.
Oh, gosh. I can't wait to play, Bob.
Well, let's move things along. Tell him what he's won, Johnny.
Wait, but
That's right, Marty. At Bueller Air and Plumbing, we've stocked up on the remaining inventory of low-cost 2024 model air conditioners. So you win. We're passing the savings on to you.
Can I answer a question first?
We need to make room for the 25s, so we're offering great deals on AC replacements while supplies last.
Could I spin the wheel at least? I've been practicing for a year.
With last-minute deals like this, there's no question that you are cool.
What do I tell my kids?
There you go. Have a souvenir t-shirt.
Thanks.
Stay cooler with Bueller. Visit BuellerAir.com.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. WM is the largest sustainability company in North America. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Your services will be completed in a timely, safe, and eco-friendly manner. Go to WM.com/Duval. That's WM.com/Duval and get signed up today. If anyone can talk trash, it's the Mangler.
Have you tried golfing at the improved Cimarron Golf Club? If you haven't, tell you what, you're missing out on the best deal in Jacksonville. Now, many of you have received a postcard in the mail, and of course, if you bring that with you, $45 plus tax to play. That includes a cart, lunch, and a beer at the brand new Stone Barrel Tap House. Now, go to the website, that is CimarronGolfClub.com, and sign up for the Wild One Loyalty Program. That's the Wild One Loyalty Program, and get all of these specials emailed to you from Cimarron.
Navy Mutual was created by service members for service members, so we know what it means to serve. Our policies have no active duty service restrictions, so you can rest assured that you're covered no matter your duty station, home or abroad. To go even further, we promise that premiums will not be higher for those who serve in dangerous environments, including aviation, diving, or on deployments. Let us help you protect those you love the most. Learn more at NavyMutual.org.
For your chance to win 4-day weekend general admission passes for Welcome to Rockville Festival in Daytona Beach, May 15th to 18th, text the word ROCK to the 1010XL text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures at 641-1010.
Bull riding. The perfect fusion of strength, skill, and pure willpower. Professional bull riders aren't just athletes. They're daredevils with cowboy souls. Come experience the true modern West, where 8 seconds of glory will create a lifetime of memories. It's the Michelob Ultra PBR Jacksonville at ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena, February 22nd and 23rd. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com and PBR.com. Hold on tight. The ride of your life is about to begin.
Hey, Jaguars fans, as the official whiskey of the NFL, it's not a kickoff without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. And that's why we've built the Crown Royal Rig. An absurdly awesome 18-wheeler delivering the generous spirit to stadiums and tailgates across the country. Follow the Royal Rig on its journey from city to city, bringing together local cuisine, NFL legends, and the opportunity to pack a purple bag for charity and win tickets to Super Bowl 59. Visit crownroyal.com for rules and more, and please drink responsibly.
Injured in an accident that's not your fault? Don't worry. Zach's got your back. I'm Zach Von Rowan at Von Rowan Law, and over the past 20 years, I have fought to recover millions from my clients throughout Jacksonville. If you've been injured in an accident, have mounting medical bills, can't work, don't worry. Zach's got your back. I will fight for the compensation that you deserve and will be there every step of the way. Go to Zach'sGotYourBack.com to set up your free consultation with me today. Zach'sGotYourBack.com.
For 79 years, each Gator Bowl game wrote a chapter in a story filled with excitement, celebrity, and a touch of drama. The game has seen iconic coaches like Bear Bryant, Vince Dooley, and of course, Bobby Bowden. Football stars like Larry Zonka, Archie and Peyton Manning, and Michael Vick. The 80th chapter features Duke and number 14 Ole Miss. Thursday, January 2nd in primetime on Bill Gay Grounds at Everbank Stadium. Tickets on sale now at TaxSlayerGatorBowl.com.
Hey, Jacksonville Koozies, it's me, Soccer Sam, for Salvatore's Pizza. Rochester, New York's favorite pizza is now open in Jacksonville, Florida, Tapestry Park at the Loft Hotel Plaza. Daily $10 deals, dine in with beer and wine, and delivery at Salvatore's.com. The famous Formoso family brings Salvatore's Pizza, Rochester's favorite pizza, including our 32-piece sheet pizza for your next event. Go with me, baby. Salvatores.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville, putting an extra 60 minutes on the clock. The window world of Northeast Florida, fifth quarter. Presented by Von Rowan Law and Hurricane Grill and Wings on 1010XL.
Play fake. Max looks, fires toward the end zone, caught for the touchdown. Brian Thomas Jr. for the score.
Frank Frangie on the call, Jaguars radio. That's a pretty good way to start a game. Look, I've said many weeks here on the fifth quarter, the Jacksonville Jaguars will go 3 and out on you to start a game. No question about that. That did not happen today. It was clearly their best opening drive of the year. Every week here on the fifth quarter, we do give you a drive of the game. That drive of the game is brought to you by Randy Marion Cadillac. RJ, let's do it now. The Randy Marion Cadillac drive of the game.
Now, the Randy Marion Cadillac drive of the game. Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville. Drive to the game in luxury with Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville.
13 plays, Coach, 70 yards, 6 minutes, 23 seconds off the clock. Mac Jones to Brian Thomas, the first of 2 touchdowns for BTJ. What a way to start the game. 13 plays, 70 yards.
Yeah, that's how you're supposed to start it with the script. And the script hasn't worked too well, but it did today. And a lot of it was based on how they ran the football in that drive. They started out running the ball, and they hit them pretty good. And then they made a couple of plays.
Phone lines are open, 641-1010. If you're on the line, we will get to you. We'll take up phone calls throughout the next 10 to 15 minutes here on the fifth quarter. Let's go to Ponte Vedra. Let's get Gib in here on 1010XL. Gib, what's going on?
Hey, guys. Thank you for taking my call. Firstly, I'd just like to say I agree with you wholeheartedly about Mac Jones. I won't go into the details. Y'all have done that. But just to see a local guy playing with such fire and just providing a spark for the offense has been an extreme positive for me, and I just really appreciate that. And secondly, I just have a question for Coach here. You know, today kind of followed a similar theme for, like, the whole season of, you know, having a chance at the end, just losing a close one. How do you approach that as a coach in the locker room of, you know, just addressing the team after you've consistently lost these close games, just to kind of, you know, avoid it being a self-fulfilling prophecy where the team starts to think, you know, maybe we're close at the end, but we just haven't quite been able to get over the hump and get in the win column for a lot of these close games. Just like, how do you approach that from the coaching perspective? And I'll hang up and listen. Thank you.
Thanks, Gib.
Well, let me just say this. Every coach is different. You know, there's some coaches that are really fiery. There are some coaches that are laid back. You know, it's hard to say how a specific guy would handle anything. You know, you look at a Nick Saban. I've seen a bunch of things on Nick Saban where he's in everybody's tail all the time, and that's on the college level. He goes to the NFL, and he's not successful. So Doug Peterson, for an example, is more of a – he wants the guys to do it because they're professionals. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I was a little bit more do it my way or the highway. And so I would have approached that situation about, you know, a constant talking about how important the 2-minute drills are, how about finishing it, how important it is. And when it didn't happen, that would be a big-time emphasis, even if we didn't watch the whole tape, we would watch the end of a football game, no questions asked, if we didn't win the game in the fourth quarter. And, again, I think some of it is what your team is capable of. When we were with the Cowboys, we had a great running attack. Well, you're going to win some games in the fourth quarter with a great running attack. So that's something that we have not had here this year. Today we ran the ball well. We scored some points. You don't run the ball well, you don't score a lot of points unless you got, guys, 3 or 4 receivers that are outstanding and a great quarterback.
We talk about complimentary football or the lack thereof. It's every week. Like today, the offense was good, but the defense wasn't good enough. Last week, the offense wasn't good enough. The defense just played above their head and won the game against Tennessee. By the way, Will Levis, the team they beat last week, just got benched in Nashville today for Mason Rudolph. He threw 3 picks and lost a fumble. So that's not exactly a good win over a Tennessee team that is arguably the worst team in football right now. And it's just unfortunate the offense, like you said, puts it together, and the defense just let you down again there in the second half. Let's head to Arlington. Let's get Travis in here with Coach Campo and Hacker on the 5th quarter. Travis, what's happening?
Hey, Hacker. Hey, Coach. I was hoping you could clarify something for me because I keep hearing Ryan Nielsen preach nothing deep, nothing cheap. So when Devontae Adams was open there at the end of the game, was that something deep or was that something cheap or was it both? Because I'm not sure anymore. All I know is it was ridiculous, and I'll take it off the air. Thanks.
Travis, appreciate it. And to me, the frustrating thing is that's Green Bay all over again, right? They scored the Evan Ingram touchdown. Game's tied. Stadium is going nuts. And Jaden Reed is wide open. Now, Green Bay did the right thing. They didn't score. I cannot believe the Jets scored on that play. Why don't you take a couple of knees, make the Jaguars use their timeouts, kick a game-winning field goal?
That was a mistake.
Right, just ridiculous. But it's the same thing. If Devontae Adams made a heck of a play, like he made a heck of a play earlier in the fourth quarter, that's one thing. But for him to be wide open in that situation, just like what happened against Green Bay, that is the epitome of we got to watch the tape and clean it up. No, that's bunk. Well, because you don't clean it up. It's the same thing every week.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, this is game number what?
14. 14, yeah.
Yeah, 3 and 11, right? 14. That stuff should have been cleaned up, and I think we've talked a lot about it tonight. I mean, look, the only way you get beat is big plays. Nobody takes the ball, and we almost did it today, driving it 13 plays, 18 plays.
And dunk your way down the field.
I mean, nobody wins games that way in the NFL. They win on big plays. And the one to the 70-yarder, that's the deep. The one on wide open in the court,
in the fourth quarter.
Whatever, in the fourth quarter, that was cheap.
Yeah.
So it's both, just like he said.
And we're not even talking about Garrett Wilson being wide open in the first quarter.
Yeah, and that one was that's another one I haven't even talked about. I have a hard time when the ball is in the high red, which is the red zone is the 20-yard line in. They were on the 22. You play a 3-deep zone coverage right there, you got a problem because if they send guys down the seam, the corner has to 2-to-1 read. Well, the corner didn't 2-to-1 read. He stayed outside, and that guy was wide open down the seam. You can't play that in a situation where you're playing width rather than depth. You have to play some kind of a 4-deep coverage, or you have to blitz them and let it eat and make sure somebody's on all those guys. 4
o'clock game is beginning to wind down. What Josh Allen is doing to the Detroit Lions defense today is not legal in 37 states. Now, I understand the Detroit Lions have a lot of injuries, and they're maybe the best team in football, but their defense is banged up. Josh Allen right now at the Bills, 23 of 34 for 361, 2 touchdowns, no picks. He's added another 70 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns on top of that. So 4 total touchdowns and 430 yards from scrimmage for Josh Allen today. Bills up 45-35 with about 2 minutes to go. By the way, not to be outdone, Jared Goff has thrown for 424 and 4 touchdowns for Detroit, yet he's going to come up in a losing effort Very little defense being played in this game. If this is an appetizer for what may be a Bills-Lions Super Bowl, Coach, sign me up, because this has been fantastic to watch.
Yeah, you could sign me up too, because I think both of those teams are the best teams. I think Detroit's the best team in the NFC, and I think Buffalo's the best team in the AFC. I really think they'll beat Kansas City.
You think this is the year?
This is the year. If it's ever going to happen, it's going to be this year.
Yeah, they are very, very good. No doubt about that. Back to the phone lines we go. Let's go to the south side. Let's get Nate in here on the fifth quarter, live from Hurricane Grill and Wings in Bartram. Nate, go ahead.
Hey, buddy. Good show, man. I don't understand the fans, and if you're really a Jags fan, Shad Khan is too patient, and we don't need Gus Bradley years. They need to lose out and don't waste Trevor Lawrence's career. Brian Thomas Jr. is a stud, and we need to lose out and get rid of. Definitely, Belky needs to go. I don't know if you want to clean house, fine, but they need to lose out and get the best draft pick they can and clean house. That's just my opinion. I'd love to hear your thoughts.
Nate, appreciate it. Yeah, look, I feel obligated in the media having to say this, and it's always weird, right? Because we're in those press conferences with Doug Peterson. If Trent Baalke ever did a press conference, we'd be in there with him, although he talks like twice a year. You feel bad in saying somebody needs to lose their job.
Right.
But you know this better than anybody. I'm talking to a guy that lived this life, worked for Jerry Jones. It is a results-oriented business. And the Jacksonville Jaguars have lost 16 of their last 20 games. 16 of the last 20. That's unacceptable by any stretch of the imagination. And you look at the problems with this roster, the problems with the win-loss record, the problems with everything. Somebody or some people need to pay for this, and hopefully that happens, and we get people in here that, quite frankly, do a better job.
The one thing you don't know is, when you bring somebody in, whether or not they're going to do any better than the guy that's here. But you can't. I'm at the point now where, something has to change.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't go that. You don't lose that many games in that stretch of 20 games to win 4 games. That's ridiculous.
And the crazy thing is, it'll be 32-25, or they'll lose 12-7, or then they'll lose 47-10, and then they'll come back and lose 23-20. It's just across the board. It's every which way you can lose. Right. This team has managed to do that, and they never win close games, ever.
And especially the way everyone thought this team was going to be. And to me, when the one guy says it's the best roster they've ever had, that expectation is going to get you every time. I'm shocked that he would even say that, or even somebody would even say that to him.
Well, we'll come back. We'll put a finishing touch on today's ball game. We'll take a look ahead to Las Vegas. It'll be the 3-11 Jaguars. Las Vegas plays tomorrow night. The holidays are coming up. The team has got 1 million people on offense on IR. You're going to know about the want-to of this team with a West Coast trip to Las Vegas. So we'll talk about that aspect of it as we begin to put a wrap on another edition of the Window World of Northeast Florida fifth quarter. We're presented by Von Rowan Law. And again, Hurricane Grill and Wings in Bartram. Full bar, terrific wait staff, great menu. You know about Hurricane Grill and Wings in the Bartram area. If you're in St. Johns County, if you're in my neck of the woods in Mandarin, this is an absolutely terrific location. TVs everywhere, NFL Sunday Ticket. We love it, and we certainly appreciate Hurricane Grill and Wings in Bartram for being our host tonight here on the fifth quarter. One segment to go here on 1010XL and on 92.5 FM.
If you're watching football this season, you know anything can happen. And on Hard Rock Bet, we mean anything. One fan in South Florida turned a $1 touchdown parlay into a $40,000 payday. Hard Rock Bet has parlays for days. With flex parlays, now you can even miss a few picks and still get paid. Parlays for every kind of play. Only on Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us. When your first bet or get up to $100 back in bonus bets. Payable and bonus bet up to $100, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Stop letting high-interest debt weigh you down. Pay it all off in days thanks to Loan Pronto's new Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Prosser here. Imagine a completely hassle-free way to cash out your home equity. No appraisals, no paperwork, no waiting. Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan uses an AI-driven tech to get you approved for cash in as little as 1 day. One client got $100,000 approved in under 24 hours, wiped out their debt, launched a home improvement project, and is now saving over $1,000 a month. Instant approvals, low fixed rates, fast transfers. Get cash to consolidate all your debt and get a fresh start to the new year. Call Loan Pronto now and see how much you qualify for. Imagine this time next week, you can be credit card debt-free. Call 904-999-1508 or go to loanpronto.com. That's 904-999-1508 or loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781 on approved credit, MLS, consumeraccess.org.
Welcome to Rockville. North America's largest rock festival returns to the Daytona International Speedway in 2025 with Green Day, Korn, Shinedown, and Linkin Park. Plus, Bad Omens, Incubus, Good Charlotte, Rob Zombie, Alice in Chains, Pierce the Veil, Marilyn Manson, 3 Days Grace, Sublime, Hailstorm, I Prevail, Three Doors Down, Jimmy Eat World, Motionless in White, Bush, Chevelle, Mudvayne, and so many more. Welcome to Rockville takes over the Daytona International Speedway May 15th to the 18th, 2025. 5 stages, 4 days, and over 150 bands. 4-day, single-day camping and VIP passes on sale now at welcometoRockville.com.
Huddle up at Hurricane Grill and Wings, where every day is game day. From their famous wings to refreshing new cocktails, serving up the flavors you crave. And score big with awesome happy hour deals. It's the perfect spot to catch all the football action while enjoying your food faves, cocktails, and beer. Don't miss out. Grab your friends and family and swing by Hurricane Grill and Wings and see what everyone's cheering about. Find the restaurant nearest you at hurricanewings.com.
Every bowl season has its gems.
Amazing, isn't it?
Take 1010XL's Ultimate Bowl Challenge, and you could win $1,000 of jewelry from Beard's Diamonds.
Are you ready? Yeah, I'm ready.
Log on to 1010XL.com and start picking.
If you're ready to transform your yard with a fence that stands out, elevate your curb appeal with Superior Fence and Rail. Superior takes pride in offering first-class service, friendly installers, and unmatched fence products. Mention this ad and get $250 off your next project. It's time to get off the fence and call today.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Hey y'all, Melissa Scobie here, and you know my husband Josh could really kick that ball. But when it comes to working around the house, well, not so much. So when I need irrigation, drainage, or seamless gutters, I rely on John Haney's crews at Clearwater. Hit it, guys.
Clearwater Irrigation.
And drainage, too.
ClearwaterJacks.com.
It's the end of the year sale with Universal Roof and Contracting. Get 15% off all roof repairs and replacements, plus a $250 gift card for holiday shopping. With financing options as low as $150 a month, protecting your home's never been easier. Schedule your free roof inspection today. Call 855-ROOF-HELP, and this offer expires December 31st. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com.
Why do you choose Farah and Farah? First, we have the financial resources to take on any insurance company, and our track record proves that we know how to win. Our attorneys and staff are a team, and we've worked together for decades. To us, our job is much more than just a paycheck. We love to help. And this is important. We never forget. It's not about us. It's all about you. Farah and Farah, Jacksonville.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Bringing you an extra quarter of football.
The window world of Northeast Florida, fifth quarter. Presented by Von Rowan Law and Hurricane Grill and Wings on 1010XL.
Dropping is Rogers. Looking. Time. Too much time. Fires deep down the middle of the field. That's Devontae Adams. Make the catch. 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Stays on his feet. Touchdown. A long bomb touchdown to Devontae Adams down the middle of the field. 71 yards. He beat the Jaguar defense over the top. And the Jets have taken the lead 23-22 with 3:24 to play in the game.
Frank Frangie on the call, Jaguars radio. Yep, that's pretty much how we all felt at that moment. As Devontae Adams, a huge day. Aaron Rodgers, if this was his last trip to Jacksonville, he hasn't been here very often, but one would think at 41, probably is his final trip here to Jacksonville. Comes away with a pretty good memory as he leads a comeback, and the Jets win 32-25. Finishing touches on the fifth quarter in one moment, but every week here on the fifth quarter, we do give you an injury update. That injury update is brought to you by the law offices of Farah and Farah. Let's do it right now, RJ, the Farah and Farah injury update.
The personal injury attorneys of Farah and Farah present this injury update. Farah and Farah,
Jacksonville,
exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Coach, from an injury standpoint, pretty good today for the Jaguars. Walker Little left the game, a little concerned, but he came back in. And that's kind of where you're at, right? Especially with the young guys. I don't even know why I'm saying this, but I'll just say it once. I won't say it again. You know, Brian Thomas Jr., Tank Bigsby, Brenton Strange, Parker Washington, Walker Little, guys that you know are going to be the foundation pieces of a rebuild in 2025. Get to the finish line over the next 3 weeks with those guys healthy. So when you saw Walker Little down, you're thinking, oh, no. But he did come back in, which was a great sign.
Yeah. I think we have a nucleus of guys that are pretty good, and I think you want to keep them healthy down the stretch. So, again, and by the way, Frank, on that last call that we just had on, he said it exactly right when he said, looking, too much time.
It's been that way all year. It's been that way. Again, it's worth repeating. Roy Robertson Harris has not been a Jacksonville Jaguar since London. He hasn't played here in 8 weeks. And coming into today, he was third on the team in sacks with 2. It's absolutely wild, and it's kind of ridiculous, to be honest with you. All right, as we begin to look towards Las Vegas, West Coast trip, holidays upcoming, 3-11, playing an awful Raider team. Ugh. I mean, what are your expectations for the Jaguars next week?
Well, especially in Vegas, to add to it. I mean, West Coast trip is different to San Francisco than it is Las Vegas. They better take it as a business trip. And again, guys are putting their resume on film, and at this particular time, that's the most important thing. And so, all you can do is hope that the guys go in there with the right. And listen, this is not the second coming of the Dallas Cowboys from the 90s out there at Vegas. So they're doing the same thing. They're looking at it like, hey, I'm putting my resume on the field. So anything can happen. I think that's a game that obviously, I thought this was a game we could win. I think that's a game we could win as well. I know you don't want to win it, but it's there. It's out there, and we'll see what happens.
For me, the perfect scenario next week would be just like what we saw today.
Get plenty of people, work, and stay healthy.
And entertain us.
Right.
Entertain us. Close game in the fourth quarter.
Right.
Young guys make plays. Brian Thomas Jr. finds the end zone. Maybe Brenton Strange finds the end zone. But then, I'll be honest, lose the game. And I would be perfectly content with that. Yeah. And I think a lot of people would be, whether they want to admit it or not. That's the long-term thought that I have. What's the message this week to the guys? I mean, if you're Doug Peterson, what do you say at 3-11, 3 games to go? You got to go out west, get on a plane for 4 hours or whatever. Holidays, people with families are probably thinking that, and because obviously the playoffs have long gone bye-bye.
Yeah, I think the only message you can give them is, number one, do you guys realize how lucky you are to be playing this game and making the money you're making. That's because you're a professional athlete and you're putting your resume on the field. And I've been there. I've been in that situation. And that's the message that you have to give them. And your only hope is that you got enough professionals on the team that they're going to at least give you the best effort.
4 o'clock games are winding down. To update you, boy, Detroit's going to come up short. Jared Goff just threw his 5th touchdown of the game. It's 48. It's about to be 48-42 with like 15 seconds to go. Detroit's going to try to go onside. What a game. Again, sign me up for a Lions-Bills Super Bowl, but it appears the Bills are going to win the game. Again, they're up 48-42 with 12 seconds to go. Detroit will try an onside kick. Other 4 o'clock games, Philadelphia has defeated Pittsburgh 27-13. How about Tampa Bay? You were talking about this earlier, Coach. Baker Mayfield, 4 touchdowns today for the Buccaneers. They go out to L.A. and they beat the Chargers 40-17. Mike Evans, $160 and 2 touchdown catches in that game for Tampa.
Yeah, I think that Mayfield got rejuvenated. I think he's a good player. I think he's got that attitude that you're looking for. And he's got some guys around him that can make some plays.
In the AFC South, Indianapolis, that's a bad loss for the Colts. That all but ends their playoff hopes. That might actually end their playoff hopes, to be honest. Denver 31-13 over Indy. The Titans benched Will Levis today. 3 interceptions and a lost fumble. He was pulled for Mason Rudolph. Is that the end of the Will Levis era in Nashville?
Well, I think I'm not surprised. I mean, watching him last week, and again, everybody can have a bad game, and I don't watch him every week. But I don't know that he's the answer. Let me put it that way. And if they're picking high, they could very well take another shot. I don't think people, in this day and age worry too much about, the patience part of the game. You got to get players. We're hoping that there's not too patient here.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. But I think that they might make a move there.
And the Texans also defeated the Miami Dolphins. I believe with the Houston win coupled with the Indy loss, the Texans are officially champions of the AFC South.
Yes.
Did Detroit just recover this onside kick? Are you kidding me? There's a huge pile-up with 12 seconds to go. It's 48-42. Detroit's saying they got it. Again, it would take a miracle at this point. We'll see what happens, but they're unpiling the bodies. All right. Sun will come up tomorrow, 3-11. We got 30 seconds. What's your message to the fans?
Guys, look, it doesn't do any good to not show up. And what I mean by that is obviously it's an away game, but don't lose faith that you have some players on that team. A lot like Hack said about we got some young players that need playing time, and hopefully they'll be healthy. Hang in there and just hope for the best with those guys.
That is the head coach, Dave Campo. I'll talk to you tomorrow night on Hacker After Dark. Appreciate it as always. For the head coach, Dave Campo, for Andrew Gibson, who was your on-site engineer, R.J. Saunders made it happen back at World Headquarters. This has been the Window World of Northeast Florida, 5th quarter. We've been presented by Von Rowan Law and Hurricane Grill and Wings. Thank you to Hurricane Grill and Wings in Bartram for having us out. St. Johns County, Mandarin, Southside. Come to the Bartram location, Hurricane Grill and Wings. They will take excellent care of you. 16 hours of local programming begins tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. with Jeff Prosser, and I'll talk to you tomorrow night on Hacker After Dark. Until then, good night from Hurricanes in Bartram.